Hello, I'm Dr. Taylor. Um, Thank you for coming in today. I just wanted to first get some identifying information, just to get some basics, and to see what we need to work on today. Is that okay?
Sure.
Is it okay if I take notes as well?
Oh, no problem.
Okay. So what's your name?
My name is Joan.
What's your age?
So I'm 49.
Okay.
Wish I could say I was 29.
Are you married? Have you ever been married?
I'm married.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have a daughter.
Oh, how old is she?
She's in her teens.
Oh, okay. Good. Do you have any siblings?
I have one sibling. I have a sister.
Oh, okay. Is she older or younger?
She's older.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's your education? Did you go to college, high school?
So I went to high school and I was able to finish my bachelor's. I went to the college in my hometown. So.
Oh, okay. Do you like to stay close to home?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the presenting complaint? Why are you here today?
Well, lately I've been feeling a lot of like chest pain and heart palpitations, but I've been going to my primary care doctor and he's telling me everything's fine, and but it's still been occurring, and it's something I've honestly never experienced before, so it's really been freaking me out a bit.
So, you're experiencing like tightness in your chest and pain. You experience pain when this happens?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you said you've been to a doctor for this?
I have, yeah. I went to the doctor and they tell me everything's fine, but then, after I leave about a week later, then, it happens again, and it just seems like it, keeps happening and nothing's getting solved.
Yeah, that sounds really difficult to deal with. I can't imagine having to deal with pain like that, especially in your chest. That's scary.
Yeah. It almost feels like I'm having a heart attack, but I'm not.
Yeah. Is there any other symptoms that you're experiencing with this? There's just the chest pain?
I've experienced some shakiness, almost where like I can't control it. Not in like a drug use way or anything. More just like I don't know. I guess in a moment of I guess panic, I'll feel shaky. But other times when I feel the pain in my chest, I then get shaky. So that's happened a few times too.
So you said that the shakiness starts when you're feeling in a moment of panic, correct?
Yeah, I would say so. I guess that's something I've been kind of noticing, but it's
Okay. I'm just going to ask you a couple more basic questions. So do you have a job?
I do. I'm a manager for a retail store.
Oh, okay. How do you feel about this job? Do you enjoy your position? How long have you been working there?
I've been working there for about 10 years. I enjoy it, but I've been hearing from my higher boss that the employees that I work with don't feel like I'm advocating for them. I was just told that the other day, so that's been bringing me down a bit, but also makes me kind of worried because I definitely want everyone to be happy, and I also want to do my job well.
Yeah. So people have been mentioning to you that they thought that you haven't been advocating well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that's obviously probably very debilitating, and that could take a really hard hit on someone if people aren't feeling like you're doing the job with their best interest in mind. I can understand how difficult that must be. So do you have a lot of friends? How often do you see them?
I have some friends. I don't keep in a lot of contact with them. It's kind of one of those, I see them maybe 3. Maybe 3 or maybe 3 times a year or so. It's not a lot.
Okay. Um, so, how is your relationship with yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you functioning well in daily life, other than the problem, obviously?
I feel like I'm doing all right overall. At home, I've had, I guess there's been some stressors. My husband travels for his job.
Oh, okay.
So he's not around as much. So I definitely do a lot of housework on top of being a manager at, my job. So because I'm doing a lot of chores and working, my daughter's feeling like I'm not emotionally supportive to her, which she has recently been telling me, but with working so much and she's in school, it's been hard to really sit down and discuss that.
It sounds like you have a lot on your shoulders because your husband's gone more often than not, and then on top of your employees feeling like you're not advocating for them, your daughter's also feeling like you're not spending enough time with her. So I can see how you've got a lot on your shoulders, and it could become very difficult.
Yeah, I guess, putting it that way, I because it's so routine, I guess I didn't really think of it all at once being impacting.
So the main problem you said was the chest pain, correct?
Yeah.
And then you said there was shakiness that occurred, and then that panic was kind of a stressor to the shakiness, which was also a stressor to the chest pain.
Mm-hmm.
So do you notice any certain times where the panic starts to arise and then the shakiness or the chest pain starts? Is there like a specific thing that happens before it every time, or is it kind of just more random?
It's a bit of both. Sometimes it's random, but other times, like before I go to work, I'll start to get some pain in my chest just because knowing what my boss told me, it's been stressful going to work, like knowing that.
Yeah.
And also when my husband comes home, which isn't often, but when he comes home, he'll help me with chores, but he doesn't really do them well, and he'll try to help balance our checkbook, and he's messed up doing that. So I've really been getting kind of on him about that, just because I don't want to lose our house.
Right. So, how long has this been going on? The chest pain and the shakiness?
It started within the last month or so. It's definitely increased.
Okay.
Yeah, especially with the pains and things like that. I've never felt that before, which is why I've been going to the doctor, because it really was scaring me.
Yeah, definitely. It's good that you went to the doctor to see if there was anything wrong medically. So this problem you said has been going on for about a month. Was there a specific thing that happened about a month ago that may have triggered this, or would you say it was rather more just sudden?
It feels more sudden. I think with the changes with my daughter, she's in high school, but she's going to be picking colleges, so that's been a stressor. And my husband's been traveling more for work and being gone for longer periods of time, so having to do all of the house chores and taking care of the kids. He's not there a lot to help with my daughter, so that's definitely been something I feel like maybe piling on, because I just haven't really thought of it that way.
Yeah. So it seems like you've just got a lot going on, and your family seems to be pretty tight-knit, and so when things are kind of rocky, it takes a toll, definitely, because you guys seem to get along pretty well, even with your husband who's not there that often. So let me just ask you a couple more basic questions, okay?
Sure, no problem.
So, have you ever been to therapy before? Is this your first time?
This is my first time going to therapy.
Okay.
It's something that in my family, therapy was something that like only crazy people went to. There's definitely a stigma with that.
So how does that make you feel being here with your family thinking that crazy people, quote unquote, only come to therapy?
Well, it's one of those, it's in the back of my mind, but at this point, because this is occurring more often, I just want to get to the issue and solve the problem, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do that.
That's good. So, you said you've been to the doctor for this. Do you have any other medical problems, any medical conditions?
No, really, I've not had any other issues. It hasn't been until I've been getting these chest pains that I've really had anything significant.
Okay, and then you're not on any medication, are you?
Mm-hmm.
There's no medication that could be causing this? Okay. What is your family's history in regards to mental illness? Does anybody in your family have anything that they're dealing with?
Well, I know my grandmother had dementia, so I know that's something that kind of passes down in my family.
Okay.
And my father was an alcoholic, so that that definitely was a factor growing up.
Do you still talk to your parents often? Are your parents alive?
Yeah, I talk to my parents. They're kind of getting on the older end, but we were able to coordinate home care, but they're still pretty sharp.
That's good. So in regards to the chest pains and the shakiness that you're experiencing, how is that negatively impacting your life? Is it super debilitating, or is it just a thing that's kind of an annoyance to you?
It's something that at first it was kind of annoying, but then it started happening at work, and it was getting to a point where I couldn't work anymore. So then I ended up having to leave work, and which my coworkers weren't really happy about. So it definitely was affecting that part, which then preemptively made me go see a doctor. So when the doctor said everything was fine, but then I was still feeling these pains, it was throwing me for a loop.
Yeah. Understandable, definitely understandable. So are you working right now? Did you go back to work, or are you currently not working?
So I did go back to work.
Okay.
My primary care doctor, he didn't really do much. He kind of just, he wanted to prescribe me medication, but I didn't really want to go that route just yet. So, especially because I've never had like chest pains before, so I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a medication that, it wasn't even really going to address the chest pain, and there were weird side effects to it that I was like, I don't know.
Medication's a hard decision. There are a lot of side effects that could very well happen, so you have to be very sure of it. So how would your life be different if you didn't have this problem? Would you be happier? Like, what would be, like, how would your life be changed if you weren't experiencing the chest pains and the shakiness and the overall dishappiness with life?
I feel like I would be more open to communicating with my family. I feel like I'm really critical on myself, and sometimes I need things done like my way, and I feel like if I wasn't experiencing this and like going through this stress, that I would be more proactive in talking with my family and communicating better, even with my coworkers and things like that. Because I've just been kind of, with what's been happening with work, it's definitely been making me feel not motivated to even go to work with how they've been treating me. And yeah.
So the way your coworkers are treating you has made you more unmotivated to go to work, and you don't feel like you should be going because of the way you're treated.
Yeah, I go because I need money.
Right.
Money makes the world go round, but it's definitely been hard to go.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't imagine having all of this on your shoulders, and then on top of it, not even wanting to go to work and not having the desire to go to work.
Right.
So what I picked up on was you want your communication to be better. So you want to communicate with your husband better, and then communicate with your daughter better, and then also communicate with your employees and your coworkers better. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just being more open to that and not being so much in my head.
Yeah. So through the course of this therapy, we're going to try to establish goals and then to meet those goals later on through different techniques and such. So would you say one of your goals would be to communicate better or to be more open-minded towards things?
Yeah, I would definitely like to work on that. Kind of work on communicating and, I guess hopefully maybe working on that communication. I hope that would stop the weird like chest pains and shakiness and stuff.
So you think that if you were to work on your behaviors and your actions a little more, that maybe the physical symptoms would stop and then you'd start to feel better overall, which would increase your happiness. You'd be more you'd have a desire to go to work and be more interactive with your coworkers and such.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Is there any other goals that you would want to accomplish during this therapy? Do you want to do that one goal, take it one step at a time, or is there anything else you would want to address?
Well, I notice in times where I am stressed and my husband is home, for some reason I get really critical on him about things, and then I don't even want him to help me because it's just an added stress, which I don't want to feel that way when he's home, especially because he's not home often. So I guess I just want to, figure out the reasoning why I'm doing that, and because it's not really something I know, and since he's not around, I can't really talk about it, and when he is home, I want to just spend time with family, and I don't want to make him work per se, but at the same time, I need help. So
right. So it sounds like when he's home, you're being a little more argumentative, and maybe not just like starting arguments, but you just wish things to be done a certain way, and maybe he's not doing them till you're up to what you want. So then that's the basis for arguments. Correct. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So then maybe another goal would be to work on your relationship individually with your husband and see if there could be better communication between you guys, and so that when he is home from work, you guys can maximize your experience together, and even if it is for a short period of time, maybe you guys can go out or do something just to get you guys back on the same page and be happy again.
I really like those are really two things, for sure. I like having this kind of plan.
Okay, so you said your relationship with your daughter is not the greatest. Well, you just don't talk that often because she's in school and you're working, and then when you get home, you've got things to do, so you're not communicating effectively with her, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So then maybe that could be another goal as well, not only communicating with your husband, but making sure that your daughter is included in stuff, and maybe getting her to take up some of the chores and try to get some of that stress off of your shoulders, and then teach her responsibility as well. So we'll definitely talk about your daughter and to see how you guys can better your relationship. So are you taking care of yourself okay? You're functioning through day-to-day well, correct?
I guess I would say so. Sometimes, like, the chores that I work on at home feel, I guess, in a way therapeutic because I'm focusing on something. I never really thought of it that way, but until really, like, us talking. But thinking about it, they definitely help, put me in a zone, I guess.
Yeah, so it seems like you like that time to kind of self-reflect and to get into your own head kind of and just like think about things, right? So maybe what we can work on is finding you some alone time where you can do those things without having the stress of I need to get it done. So that you can have time to yourself to think, but also get things done if they need to be done. And to like self-reflect and to see maybe like keep progress of how you're doing and how your day's been going and stuff like that. So that would be another goal that we could maybe try to accomplish.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that idea. I feel like with everything that's going on, you hit it on the head. I feel like I really don't have alone time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so in terms of goals, what would be your most important goal? Would it be the coworkers, the husband, your child, having alone time, or do you think one of these goals would just kind of snowball and all these other goals would maybe not be resolved, but be better easily resolved?
Yeah. For me, I definitely feel like I am, more family oriented, and I'm definitely not, I don't like making mistakes, but I feel like, starting with my family can definitely then go into the other aspects that, working with my family, I won't feel as stressed, and I won't bring it to work. Not that I talk about it at work, but like just the emotion, I guess. So I feel like working on that may, as you said, like snowball.
Yeah, so then starting with your family, so we can start with your husband per se, and then that would extend to your daughter, which would extend to your coworkers, and then we can work on getting you some alone time so you can self-reflect and get kind of back into the groove of things. How does that sound?
That sounds good. Yeah, I definitely like. I am one to still like have a plan to things.
Yeah,
I'm a little, I guess, a perfectionist that way.
So, how would you know if our therapy was done? How would you know if we succeeded? What would be some signs to tell you that we've succeeded in what we've done?
That's a good question. Well, I feel like if I'm able to express, express things to my family better, and I'm able to, like tell you how that's improved, that'd be like a start. And then eventually, if I'm able to have that spread across the board, I definitely feel like that's where it's going really well and it's successful.
Good. All right. Well, I think that's all the information I needed. I look forward to working with you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you. This time?